Good evening, everyone. This is Ken, and you're here with Yankees, the ugly truth. Uh, been a while since I've been on, and figured that we'd have a impromptu get together. As you know, tomorrow the first Yankee spring training game will be at 1:05, featuring the Yankees playing against the Baltimore Orioles. Have a f- since this is a completely impromptu thing, not sure how many people will show up, and don't have any real set points. Just going to talk about some things and invite everybody up who wants to come and express their feelings about this upcoming season, how we feel, and what we believe is going to be the future for the Yankees this season. Right now, I can see Sky. Welcome to the stream, as well as Jonathan, John the Beagle Dad, and there are a few more people in the eye. Uh, Sky, I believe, are you asking who is pitching Friday? If so, the Orioles are going to be lining up Trevor Rogers, left-handed pitcher for them. They acquired at the trade deadline, and he's going to be facing off against Elmer Rodriguez. And as you can see, I've dropped the links. Anyone who wants to hop up, you are more than welcome. I am going to be calling my first preseason or spring training play-by-play on Saturday at 1:05, and that one's going to be the Tigers facing off against the Yankees at George M. Steinbrenner Field. And I know on the bump for the Yankees is going to be Carlos LaGrange. I am not sure who the matchup is yet for the Tigers, but we shall see. Welcome, Jonathan.
Hi.
Glad to have you on board as usual.
I'm always available. If I'm available, I'm always willing to come up.
Some of the questions that I have with regard to spring training: are we going to see Garrett Cole pitch in the spring?
I'm not sure if we will. I've seen videos of him or posted online, but I don't think he's going to see a game in spring training. I don't. I don't. I, my expectation is, and this is just my guess, is he's going to start extended spring training once the season started, and then he'll build up until he's ready to come into a game sometime mid-season. Maybe as early as May, but
Okay.
I think June is more realistic.
I think that the Yankees are going to handle him with kid gloves. They're not going to force him back.
They're going to handle him as smoothly as possible. Not the he's going to be as gentle as possible. Let's put it that way. Then and there's no reason to rush him back anyway.
I agree. I don't think that there's an absolute need to rush him back. I think there are three young pitchers that I'm pretty excited to see how they do. Actually, four.
Wow.
Chase Hampton is one of them.
Yes.
Uh,
But Chase Hampton is also recovering from Tommy John.
yep. But I anticipate that they are going to have him throwing some. He's been throwing a lot of bullpens that I've been seeing, and his velocity is up. He's not looking too bad. He Another one is Ben Hess. Then, of course, the two touted Carlos Lagrange and Elmer Rodriguez. And Elmer Rodriguez starts for us on the bump tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah. I think out of all the pitchers that I want to see, I think Elmer Rodriguez is the one I'm most excited to see, along with Chase Hampton, because of everything I heard about Chase Hampton. If he's fully healthy, he can be as good as Cole, based on what I've heard. Obviously, I would love to see it for myself, but I won't until there's a game.
I dropped a short not too long ago
Yes,
that
I saw it.
featured some of Hampton's actual trading throwing for the bump, and he looked pretty solid. One of the concerns that I have, they've had a lot of talk about the velocity that the pitchers are having, and I sort of think that that's a bit too early to be throwing as hard as they are. They had Cole at 96.
Yeah, I think it's too early right now to think to throw 96. It's the beginning of spring training. At 96, you want maybe towards the end of spring training. Right now, no one should think about 96, 97. Maybe more of a smooth, soft tossing rather than hard velocity. And I don't understand why baseball has moved to say higher velocity is better. The object of spring training should be getting your pitchers ready to play baseball, not to see who throws the hardest.
Big.
Are you frozen?
Okay. That was different.
Yeah, I saw you froze.
The pitchers worked on points, hitting location before they worked on velocity, but it seems like the new revolution in baseball is these guys come out throwing as hard as they can.
Well,
And you got
and I disagree with that. I think I prefer the old way, and I think it's safer for the pitcher's health long term. Because that's
Lagrange. Lagrange has hit 102 so far, and I think that's way too much velocity for this early in spring.
I think that should be, as I said earlier, that should be something to work up to. 102 is something you should be pitching in late March, not in the first day of spring training. And if they're not careful, what will happen? What happened with Cole, where he was pitching too much in the offseason, will happen to more pitchers because they're throwing so hard so early. It's unnecessary. I think it's unnecessary.
You've got Weathers; he's throwing pretty hard, and he pitched about 30 innings last season, and concerned about that too.
Well, this is the one thing that I'm concerned about. You're working the pitchers too hard, too fast, and by May or June, they get injured. They lose 2 to 3 weeks or more, and then the Yankees complain that, oh, we did all the best we could, but these guys got hurt. Well, they get hurt because you're working them too hard, too fast.
There's still some positional battles. I don't think that JC Escara's position at behind the dish is secure, and we invited 4 catchers to non-roster invitees to the spring training. Not sure if any of those catchers can actually challenge Escara. They have Abraham Gutierrez, Peyton Henry, Miguel Palma, and Ali Sanchez. And I know that Gutierrez has been reassigned to minor league camp already.
Yeah, now there's only three left. Maybe you know who the biggest wild card for me right now is, because I know nothing about his status, is maybe Rafael Montero. Rafael Montero could be, if he has a good spring training with the Yankees, he could make the team, and he could show glimpses of his what he was 4 years ago. Imagine if you get a guy who can pitch to a 2 ERA on a minor league contract.
John, you typed no scrolling. Not sure exactly what that means.
I don't understand what that means, but what do you think of the potential of what I just said, Montero?
I think it's definitely a possibility. I mean, performance is going to be what it shows. I know that the Yankees are still. Oh, no one has been saying anything. No, they haven't.
Well, why don't you come up and let's hear your side of your opinions? I don't think I've ever seen John on your live stream before.
Nope, hasn't been up. Some of the other interesting ones I think are out there. Paul DeJong. I think he's trying to work his way back to the majors, so I'm not sure. Hey, Sean, understood. Trying to work himself back to the majors. Seth Brown's another one, although he is a left-handed bat.
So, what do you think of this current lineup compared to last year? Do you think it's more balanced, or do you think it's too heavily to one side?
I don't care. Honestly, I don't care.
So let me put it in a different direction. Do you think this lineup is able to get on base more than last year, or are they too? Do you think they might maybe too focused on the home run and strikeout?
Well, I dropped a couple of shorts about that, and I think that the talent is on the roster. And if they adjust the actual hitting and situational approaches, I think that the team will be fine. I would certainly love to see Jazz take his 70% swing approach. For the 24 games that he did, he cut his strikeout rate from 30% down to 13. And he didn't sacrifice home run. He still hit 7 home runs in that period.
Yeah.
I certainly think that the speed component is something that has been underutilized for years, but we have assets on the team now that could definitely turn that around.
Well, and that's another thing I would hope to see more for the Yankees is stealing bases, because last year, for some reason, they were allergic to stealing bases. Every time they had a stolen base opportunity, they wouldn't go for it, with the exception of Caballero, who came at the trade deadline. You never saw Cabrera score in the limited steal in the limited time he played. You never saw any other players steal a base. So the pitchers were very comfortable, were too comfortable, in my opinion.
Where do we get a lineup change from last year?
We don't have DJ LeMahieu. One.
Pablo Reyes.
Pablo Reyes. We have
Peraza.
Peraza coming back. Cabrera coming back. Not Cabrera. He was traded. Peraza. Look, I think Peraza is the wild card in the lineup, because before he got injured, he was playing pretty well. He was the everyday third baseman, and if he didn't get injured, we probably would have never made the trade for Ryan McMahon, because the
You mean Cabrera?
Cabrera. Yeah, I don't. I think maybe because of their first names, I'm getting them confused. Cabrera.
Yeah, Peraza was the one who competed for shortstop, and we traded him.
Yeah, we traded Cabrera. I think, as I said, I think Cabrera would have been the third baseman, and we would not have traded for McMahon if he stayed healthy, if he didn't get hurt, because he got hurt in around May 15th, I believe. May.
I know it was in the Seattle series.
It was. It was. I remember because I was in California the week I was away, and I was gone from May 13th to the 18th. So I believe it was the 15th where he got injured. That's how I remember the dates.
Big changes in the lineup thus far are out of the pen and the rotation. Yeah. As far as the offensive lineup itself, post trade deadline, it's pretty close to the same. I'm curious what they're going to do with Volpe.
Well, Vivas, I believe, is still on the team, on the roster.
He is on the team. He is not on the 40-man roster.
He's not on the. Yes, he is on the 40-man roster.
I will take a look, because I was looking at it the other day and I didn't see him.
I'm looking at it right now. He's on the 40-man roster.
Okay. He's on the 40-man roster, but he's not invited to spring training.
That's very strange. I have no idea why. I'm curious if he, because I think Vivas is one of the players who can get DFA'd or traded before the opening day, because I don't see a place for him.
I am curious about the Caballero Cabrera competition, because they have very, very similar skill sets.
I thought it predicted that Caballero would be the starting shortstop, at least until Volpe gets back.
So far, yeah. Although in spring training, it's hard to say. I mean, they've had McMahon taking reps at shortstop. They had Escara taking reps at first base today.
Yeah, well, I think the Yankees want a right-handed first baseman. So if they can have a guy like Escara play first base at least maybe for 30 or 40 games, give either Goldschmidt or Rice a day off, I think that would be very helpful, because that was the one thing that I thought they would have figured out in the spring, in the off season, but they never focused on a righty first baseman.
Yep. Lou, they said that Volpe may be back sooner, but they also said that he is not going to be the heir apparent at shortstop. He's going to have to earn his.
What am I talking about?
His way back
into the righty. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a lefty bat.
Goldschmidt is a righty bat. Rice is a lefty. So
right.
That's probably why they brought back Goldschmidt. First of all, Goldschmidt didn't have any offers out there.
Actually, Goldschmidt did have an offer. He had a 2-year deal from the Diamondbacks to be their everyday starter, and he turned it down because he told them that his body couldn't hold up for a whole season as the everyday starter, as you could see from what happened to him during the latter part of the season.
So,
to me, that's a test of character.
Yeah. I'm curious why the Diamondbacks just didn't come back with him, say, okay, a 2-year offer to be a part-time first baseman. Don't they have a first baseman?
They do have a first baseman that they traded for in the Eugenio Suarez trade. It was Tyler Locklear. Locklear was their number 2 prospect in Seattle, and he was their heir apparent first baseman. Unfortunately, in the latter part of the season, after he transitioned to the Diamondbacks, he got injured and had to have surgery, and he is supposed to be not available for 4 to 5 months.
So what month did he have surgery? In December?
September.
September.
Yeah.
So if he'd had 4 to 5 months
And
from
4 to 5 months into the season, it was longer than.
So he will miss almost the whole year.
Torres is you're talking Nick Torres. He's a right-handed bat.
I don't know. I think many questions I have will be answered over the next 5 to 6 weeks in spring training. Before spring training starts, it's very hard to guess what the Yankees are thinking. But,
Hell, it's often hard to guess what the Yankees are thinking during the regular season.
Well, let me be more clear. I'm thinking in my mind. I'm thinking about opening day lineup.
Yeah.
Or opening day roster. If you can you think of the roster right now? Can you think of the 26 guys who's going to be on the opening day roster right now, or do you need another month to be more clear about it?
Honestly, positional matchups. I mean, there's hello, SGA. How are you doing?
And I also didn't realize we still have Max Schumann on the roster.
SJ, your mic is muted if you're trying to say something.
He's a guy I think he won't be on the opening day roster.
No.
I wouldn't be surprised if he dropped during spring training. Yeah, he's still muted.
I'll drop him down until I see his mic active. All right, he just left. So I didn't have to drop him down.
Well, maybe he'll come back.
Well, we're about 24 minutes into the stream. If you haven't, please hit the like button, share the channel out. And if you're not a member of the Yankees The Ugly Truth family, please consider subscribing. And he's back again.
Do you think the Yankees bullpen is pretty much set?
I do not. Welcome, SJ. Long time no see. Your mic is not muted, but not hearing you. And there he goes again.
So what are the bullpen pieces you want to see?
Well, it's not clear to me that Montero will make the opening day roster for the Yankees. I'm curious about Dylan Coleman.
Coleman? Yeah, he's not even on the 40-man.
No, we picked him up on a minor league deal, but he's the kid that was throwing for the Royals out of their pen, 100, 102, got hurt, lost his velocity. He spent all of last season down in the minor leagues. But when he was doing workouts for for major league clubs this year, he was thrown up in the 100-mile-an-hour range again. He's obviously recovered from his injury. Hey, SGA, I've got you up on the stage. Your mic doesn't appear to be muted. I'm just not hearing you.
The Yankees also have a guy named Carson Coleman who they invited to minor league spring training, and he's another one who was pretty well in. He pitched pretty well last year in the minors. He just was hurt for a while, so he might be a sleeper prospect to watch out.
Another one to look at is Chavali that we got from the Rockies.
Yeah.
I mean, the only locks other than the trade deadline guys that we got is Cade Winquist.
Yeah. Well, he was a Rule 5 guy, so you have to have him on the roster throughout the year.
And I think that the rest of it is in flux. I think performance in spring training is going to determine their fate one way or another.
Yeah, well, that's what I've said earlier. I think by the end of in about 5 weeks, we'll know a lot more about who's going to be on the opening day roster.
Yep. Who do you think will be in play for the fourth outfield slot?
Fourth outfield slot. Let me see. On the current roster, I wouldn't mind seeing Duke Ellis, but I don't think I don't think he will be the choice. So, knowing the Yankees, I'm guessing it's going to be Jason Dominguez. But if Spencer Jones has a great spring training, it would not shock me if he makes the club. Although I think the problem with that is I think Spencer Jones should be an everyday player. So right now I would say Jason Dominguez. But honestly, I think both Jason Dominguez and Spencer Jones need everyday playing time.
Well, the kid that we picked up from the Rockies that has the plus defensive metrics and very strong arm but can't hit for beans. They assigned him to minor league camp. He was the first player assigned to minor league camp. So he's not going to be competing. Non-roster invitees that we have that have outfield experience are
it's Yanquiel Fernandez. That kid?
Duke Ellis, Kennedy Corona, and Nick Torres.
Well, as I said earlier, I think by the end of spring training, we'll know a lot more than we do now. And when you see the more cuts, we'll have a much clearer picture of what the Yankees are doing going forward when we see the cuts. Is there anybody who will surprise you if the Yankees cut early? If the next time you see the Yankees cut players, is there anybody on that list that would surprise you if they cut before the first week in March, for example.
If Paul DeYoung is doing well, I could see them reassigning George Lombard Jr.
Just Lombard Jr.
because there's not a chance that he's going to make the major league roster.
No, but I'm just curious if they want to see what George Lombard Jr. can do when they give him an opportunity. And as the Yankees as a whole, I hope the Yankees do give their young prospects as much opportunity as they need to show that they can be a contributor to the major league club. Because if the Yankees, for example, have a logjam at one position, I think it would be smart for them to consider trading from that logjam into a position that they need, just like they traded all those catchers last year.
Yeah, and we've been drafting international catching prospects like the stuff's going out of style. And I suspect our major league draft, we're going to see something similar. We will be drafting collegiate catchers,
college catchers and pitchers. I mean, I think pitching is very strong in the Yankee system.
It is,
but the positions we don't have very much of in the minor leagues is corner infield. I don't think we have many first and third basemen.
Well, our best first baseman was T.J. Rumsfeld, who is now sitting in Colorado.
Yes, he was traded.
I think that he will have a good opportunity to make their starting roster.
Yeah, I'm disappointed the Yankees never gave him an opportunity. They chose to bring Goldschmidt back instead of giving Rumsfeld an opportunity. And I'm disappointed they never even once brought him up to the major league last year.
Well, personally, I think that I thought that he should have come up before they brought Ben Rice up.
Yeah. I think he was more not adapted, but more comfortable at that position because he was always a first baseman, and he was a good first baseman in the minor leagues, and he could hit, and everywhere he went hit. So I have no idea why they never gave him an opportunity last year. I do not.
The chat is awfully quiet. You guys got nothing to say? No thoughts about spring training opening up or spring training games opening up tomorrow? Or
I don't even know how many people are in the chat. We got 7 people watching and 9 likes.
Yep.
And my face is frozen on YouTube.
I don't see you frozen.
Well, if you go to YouTube, I'm not frozen on StreamYard. I'm frozen on YouTube. I see my face. It's very unclear, but did you ever look into that guy they signed, Felipe Hernandez? I think he was the first player signed by the new director of international scouting.
I think that these people have lost their freaking minds with this scouting stuff. What organization signed an 11-year-old the other day?
They didn't sign the 11-year-old. It was they're predicting he signs and he's 11 years old. I think someone is predicting the Yankees to sign an 11-year-old 5 years early. It was a prediction. It wasn't a signing. Players cannot sign before they turn 16 years old with the major league player team. So this is just pre-agreements.
Well, the young kid that we signed for $6 million, I think, is a little off the hook.
Well, I think from what I heard in the article, and I don't know how true it is, they say he's 13 years old and he's predicted to sign for $6 million, but they cannot sign him until he turns 16. So it's a pre-agreement. It's just like we had pre-agreements with a bunch of guys that ended up not signing with us this year because the Mets got the top guy who the Yankees were predicted to sign.
Yeah, and he's another damn shortstop.
Yeah, so we have so many shortstops we can afford to lose a bunch. Plus, a bunch of our signings haven't worked out over the last 5 years.
I mean, the last everyday player that we signed internationally was Robinson Cano.
Probably, yeah.
And they signed him in what, 2001?
2001. And the last pitcher, I believe they signed, it was Severino.
Yep. And that didn't work out too well for us either.
No, so you can never know what happened with a 16-year-old kid when you sign him. You might, scouts may love everything about him, but 3 years later, he might not be the same person.
I was watching some clips on Mets camp, and Bichette booted a couple of balls that were hit at him, and the Mets fan base that was there was giving him holy hell.
Well, they spend 200, what was it, 200 million on him. So let's see how they like it. I'm just happy he's not with Toronto anymore. The Mets and the Dodgers can spend like drunken sailors. No pun intended to you. Because I think you take that you can actually say what a drunken sailor means, but they can spend like that and still have the same result, I guess.
I think Jason Dominguez really hurt himself in winter ball this year. He hit below the Mendoza line. It's not representing himself well.
Well, yeah, I agree with that. Usually winter ball, usually major league players in winter ball, they hit 350 to 400 without a problem. Jason Dominguez might just be another one of those big names that don't contribute very much. And honestly, I think he should start batting only lefty. He should not bat from the right-hand side.
I tell you what, well, Lewis, I think that they're going to try to actually utilize prospects this year, especially with regard to the signings that we did this past season. And I think that we actually have assets that could contribute to the team. Spencer Jones is somebody that we've been touting for years, and apparently Baseball America hates him because they dropped him out of the top 100 major league prospects.
Well, in regards to Jones, this has to be like the make or break year for Jones. If they don't call him up to the major leagues this year, they have to consider trading him at the deadline because they just can't let him rot in AAA. That's what I think in regard to Spencer Jones, because the Yankees could have called him up last year, even in September, and they didn't do anything. They could have. I don't know. And look, I know we have Grisham back for 1 year, which I don't really have. I mean, I'm not happy about the price tag on him, but I'm not disappointed that he's back.
Well, I mean, if you look at the list of prospects, Everson Pereira really never got a shot in the major leagues with us.
And we traded
nothing. He was a top prospect. TJ Rumsfeld, another one that I thought was more than deserving of being a major leaguer.
Even beforehand, there was a bunch of others over the years that I cannot name anymore.
I mean, we brought Gleyber Torres up. He had a fair run. He was okay. Clint Frazier showed up and couldn't stay healthy and stay on the field. Rob Refsnyder.
Refsnyder has done well away from the Yankees.
Yep. Tampa and Red Sox, and he signed somewhere else this year, I think.
Yeah, he signed with a different team.
Well, I'm going to drop the link one more time. And if nobody wants to come up, chat is awfully quiet.
I think he's with the Refsnyder is with the Mariners now.
Mariners, I believe, is who he signed with.
Yeah. A 1 year, $6.25 million contract with the Mariners.
This offseason was extremely, extremely odd.
Well, this was the slowest offseason that I can remember the Yankees ever having.
That's not just the Yankees.
I have a feeling that this was slow because of the upcoming CBA. At the end of this year, the collective bargaining agreement is expired. So I don't think that many teams wanted to spend, especially if the team owners are wanting to get a salary cap, which the players will never agree to.
Well, I think that a lockout was ensured as about 10 seconds after Tony Clark resigned with his BS.
Well, I think that I honestly think the lockout was ensured ever since the Dodgers started spending insanely on everybody, especially since they have that special deal that allows them to get extra money from the bankruptcy deal they got from the judge. I know that's what they got legally, but it's just unfair to the rest of baseball that they're allowed to. They have so much money that it's hard for any team to compete with their money. and they don't care about any luxury taxes because spending money to them is more about winning than it's about a tax means nothing when you have so much money.
Well, the Guggenheim Group has, $440 billion worth of assets.
Yeah.
And if you were to do an actual roster comparison for them, as far as payroll purposes, right now they're running a $600 million team. For the luxury tax purposes, they paid 169 million in penalties.
Yeah.
That isn't a drop in the bucket for them. And the sad thing is the taxes that they or the penalty that they paid is higher than 15 major league roster payrolls.
Well, this is why the baseball needs a salary floor, not a cap.
I think they need both because you're not going to.
So under that scenario, what would you do in terms of a cap and a floor? Because I don't think baseball will ever accept a cap, but they probably will accept a floor.
Well, baseball is a bunch of pompous asses. There is no other professional sport out there that doesn't have a salary cap. What makes baseball the albatross in that? And Major League Baseball isn't the biggest earning sport either.
So let me get this out of my mind while it's on my mind. If you
Okay.
propose a salary cap, would you also propose a maximum years you can give out to a player?
Hell yeah. Most definitely.
So let's say you can in the next CBA, the maximum amount of contract you can give to any one player at one time is 7 years.
Okay.
So I like that idea. Even if you put opt out in that 7-year contract, it's beneficial for the player, and it could be beneficial for the. I like the idea of max contracts. 7 years, I think, is a good number. I think, in regard to that, I think they should reduce the amount of arbitration the rookies get from 6 years to maybe 5 years.
Hey, Stephen B. From Jake, under the impression that the Yankees front office and Kent is content getting into the playoffs. They care to win at all when it seems like it isn't there anymore. I don't know where you're getting that. Hey, FJ, how's it going? And Judge said that he wanted them to get Bellinger, Grisham, and more. Part of me feels like he indirectly called them out for not doing. What are your thoughts on what he said? From my sitting down listening to the interview, I thought he expressed that he was frustrated with the slow movement on the front end of the off season, the length and duration that it took for Bellinger to be re-signed. He also stated that he is happy with the lineup that they are running out there.
Well, the judge will never publicly humiliate the Yankees.
And God's honest truth, we signed Trent Grisham to a $22 million one-season deal.
One season.
Tell me what free agent was out there that was a center fielder that you were going to get at that cost. And don't say Kyle Tucker because he's a right fielder. He is not a center fielder.
No, but the other question is, could you have brought him back for less money if he just went on the free agent market?
I think that if we would have went on the free agent market, He was the top hitting asset center fielder out there, and he would have been gone.
Then why did he even accept the qualifying offer if that's the case?
Well, have you ever thought that the only place that he really got a chance to be a starter was in New York? The field is tailored for his swing. And you realize of his 34 home runs that he hit, 28 of them either tied a ball game for us or put us in the lead. That is what I call clutch hitting. That's why I think the Yankees brought him back. And how's it going, FJ? Good to see you. It's been a while, brother.
What are your thoughts, Stephen?
Grisham, it's a 1 year deal. If you really look at it, it's like 3 years. It's like almost like having it like 15 years, like average. If you look at it that way, it's like it's not a bad deal. It's just kind of shocking. I think it should have been like you should have let it walk. No draft picks worth chance of them screwing up the off season like it has been.
Well, Grisham didn't screw up the offseason for the Yankees. Bellinger did.
Well, that too, but that's all different.
And I mean, me personally, I put out after the season ended when Bellinger chose to opt out of his contract. If we didn't have him signed by December, I was going to walk, or I would have walked.
I told you that too. I said I gave him a hard deadline. If they didn't sign him by the deadline, I would have just taken the deal off the table. I did not like the waiting so much. They were waiting and waiting, and they showed their cards in terms of negotiation because they wanted him back so badly. They made him wait until they got the best deal possible.
No, they were just pretty much betting against themselves.
Grisham was clutch in the regular season but fell apart in the postseason. The team's built for 162 unless they cut down on the case significantly. I think the same thing is going to happen. Completely disagree.
Well, I think this
Through
year
the postseason, the Yankees scored the same amount of runs. What collapsed for the Yankees was the starting pitching. In the Toronto series, you had your ace and your pseudo ace, Rodon and Fried, who didn't make it out of the third inning in 2 games, which forced our bullpen to pitch a hell of a lot more than they should have.
Yeah.
And as I've said it, pitching wins championships. And good hitting will destroy mediocre pitching. And the Yankees pitching was mediocre in the postseason.
And this year we're having Cole coming back and probably Schmidt towards the end of the year. So assuming we get into the postseason, we should have Schmidt and Cole back. Yeah. At least Cole, though.
Honestly, would Cole and Rodon come back, I think that we have the best starting 5 in the American League.
What about Schmidt?
I don't think Smith's a starter. Second Tommy John surgery in 4 years.
You would put him in the bullpen?
Yep.
Make him
actually, me personally, if I would have been holding the cards for the Yankees, I would have non-tendered him. I'd have let him go.
Yeah.
That would have been $7 million that we saved ourselves. We could have distributed to another asset to bring in. Because I think he's cooked as a starter.
Yeah, maybe next year they'll non-tender him.
I think that if he doesn't pitch this year, I believe that he will be non-tendered.
Yeah, the Yankees have to they have to stop. They have to look at the moment and stop. What's the word? Thinking about what what the player can do potentially, and what he's doing now. Because Schmidt has a lot of potential, but he's never actually shown it for more than maybe 15 starts, half a season. I believe last year he had half a season where he was a potential all-star, and then he fell off after the end of June.
Let's see. The Yankees did have a lot of Ks, and I think part of that you could go kick freaking Mike Fishman right in the dick for, because his analytics department had the team swinging on first pitches to try to jump the Blue Jays starters. During that series, look at how many one pitch outs the Yankees had. I mean, Gossman got into the 7th inning and hadn't hit 70 pitches.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I remember
and
the
personally,
90s.
Boone is not in control of the lineup. If you want him to be the manager, take the goddamn analytics department out of it. Let him write the lineup that he knows how to write.
Well, that's what the manager should be doing.
Yeah, but the Yankees aren't doing that.
You cannot run a team with a computer. If you want a computer being the manager, you should just get a blow-up doll, put him in the dugout, and tell everybody this is what the computer says. This is the lineup. Print the lineup, and there it is.
And I think that
you have a blow-up doll that blows in the wind, just like at the car rental place.
And honestly, Boone is in the press room taking shotgun blasts to the face, left, right, and center. I think Mike Fishman's ass should be standing right next to him to explain the bullshit lineup and the philosophy that they've had with those pitches. I think analytics has really jacked up the Yankees. You've got a bunch of smart guys that are Ivy League educated, but they don't have freaking the chops for actual baseball play. You can't run it, like you said, with a computer.
Yeah.
I mean, the Yankees basically shithoused their entire international freaking international prospect management staff for non-performance. Guess what? The analytics department isn't performing any better.
Well, if the Yankees really want to improve, they have to start by improving where the problem is. So I would say if the Yankees do not perform up to expectation this year, which is whatever you want it to be, Fishman should be fired. Cashman should be either fired or promoted, and they should get a new GM.
Well, I have a sneaking suspicion that Cashman is going to be promoted to the Randy Levin spot.
Yes, and
especially after his name showed up on the jackass list.
So that's look. I think it's time for changes in the front office, and this is the time to do it. They've been one way for so long. If they do not make changes to the front office soon, then they're just going to be running in circles until someone falls down, and they have to change it.
Steven, I'm looking at your secondary header, and I think it's bullshit. You're loving life with all the overtime that you're freaking working on these emergency HVAC calls. Bullshit. I don't think you're loving life.
Oh, the pay is awesome though, dude. Especially when I got a raise too. Yeah, no, you can't.
How are you feeling about us kicking into spring training games tomorrow?
I think it's a little. I'm looking forward to seeing Almar Rodriguez-Cruz, and I can't wait to see LaGrange next to start. And I want to really see these minor league players like Jones, and I want to see Dominguez playing a lot. I want to see actually how this team clicks.
Well, you're going to get your shot at. It's not Rodriguez Cruz anymore. It's just Elber Rodriguez. I think the think that when they started printing his name on shirts, you couldn't fit all his damn letters onto a jersey, so he chopped the hyphenate and the cruise portion out of it.
Well,
But
that's
you're gonna see
a
him
good
tomorrow
thing.
against the Orioles,
Yeah.
and LaGrange will be pitching on Saturday. The first game that I'm doing the spring training play-by-play for, and it'll be simulcast on NY Yankee Mania.
Don't you do it on your channel?
Yeah, it's going to be on my channel, and they're going to pump it from my channel to their channel.
So you're doing it on both channels.
Yeah, well, I'm doing it on my channel, and whoever comes into my room is tallied with me. Whoever goes into NY Mania, I don't think that we have a lot of common people that are subscribed to both of us.
Okay, I would also think you have more subscribers at the moment. I don't even.
No,
According
I think
to
he's got a hell of a lot more than me. As a matter of fact, my son John is supposed to be starting to set up the monetization for my channel tomorrow, since my third-party content strike falls off at midnight.
I thought you had to have 1,000 subscribers to be monetized.
500.
500.
500. They changed it, Jonathan. I still have a long way to go.
And I am at
534.
oh, so I lost another fucking subscriber today. Shit.
Truth hurts, right?
I mean, the other day I've been running a lot of shorts. Like the other day, I had 5 subscriptions off the shorts, and I was like, "Oh, all right, that's pretty cool." And they showed up on my numbers, and then that afternoon they were all gone. I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Well, I think when Jason started his channel, he was very lucky because he started the year before 2020. So there, in 2020, there was a lot of people at home on the computer. So I'm sure he got a lot of subscribers that were sitting home just looking at YouTube.
Well, he puts good content out there, and
Yes.
he does his thing. And honestly, the lane that he's in, there's nobody running with him.
I guess get beat from work, and that's my problem.
Well, if you say that you're going to be on, you need to be on.
Yeah, well, sometimes I get a service call right when I'm about to start it, or I get something in the background that pops up right at like an emergency at the last minute.
That's
my
why
problem.
that's why you end up bringing a co-host on, somebody else that you feel confident can run your stream while you're not there.
Well, my guy, if you know, is on a musical tour right now.
Well, you have other folks, right? I mean, didn't you have Krista Flash on there?
He's been busy with his kid, I believe.
What happened to CT Cards? I haven't seen him in a while.
He's on a musical tour.
Musical tour?
Yeah. I haven't talked to him in like a few months, but I have him on Facebook, and I've sent a couple of messages, so he's seeing him, but he's not replying yet. Being towards like really hard for him though.
Mine is busy.
Busy bee.
All right, fellas, you got any last thoughts? Because we've
I'm
been
just
running
looking
for a
forward
little
to
over an
spring
hour.
training. Hopefully, no injuries to come, and have a successful season that leads to the World Series.
Couldn't have said anything better, Jonathan.
I am looking forward to seeing some of the positional battles during spring training, because final roster that we're going to have on opening day, I don't think that we're there.
No,
The other thing that keeps lingering in the back of my head is we have a rotation that's pretty much set right now, and we have a bullpen that's pretty close to being set. But we are going to have Carlos Rodon and Garrett Cole return. So what are they going to do with the people that they have on the roster?
oh, there's going to be a couple that go back to the minor leagues. And
If we have options, there are a lot of people that we have on the roster right now we have no options for.
well, we could trade them. They can be used as trade pieces. If let's say if Cole comes back in the end of June, for example, we're getting close to the trade deadline. Maybe we can make an early trade.
I think that-
I could see Warren. I was going to say I could see Warren from going for rotation to the bullpen to help it because they're. I don't think the bullpen's going to be complete. I can see a few of those starters going there.
Yeah, yeah,
Hey, Jason, welcome to the stream, brother. Long time no see.
yeah. I was on his I was on his live earlier. He went live earlier, and I went on in the chat.
I was in the chat. I just was working a lot, and I sent a picture to him in the middle of the stream.
Jason is. I'm going to drop the link if you want to come up. He had no idea what you were sending the pictures of.
Yeah, those are actually that's actually what they call a water heater booster from a coil. There was a bad leak, and that's what I sent was actually what I actually ended up putting on there to keep it from leaking, replacing the fittings. That's the one with the union in the middle, Ken.
Oh, I'm familiar with it. Trust me.
I figured you'd be that, and you could see like how how there's that check valve you saw that I put with the union on there.
Yep.
That was actually that took me. I had to drain the whole thing down and do that and that other ball belt with the Pro Press gun. That actually took only an hour and a half, believe it or not, with filling it up. And and you probably saw that solder too, which was pretty cool. I'll actually upload those to my channel just to show some little side stuff.
No problem, Jason. Understood on that one. Went through that battle. That's why I ended up coming on at 9:15 my time, is because bedtime for the little guys and gals and getting everything situated. But spring training starts for us. The first game is tomorrow at 1:05. It'll be broadcast on Masson in my area. I'm not sure if it's on the Gotham Sports app.
It is on the Gotham Sports app.
Okay. That doesn't work for me in Virginia because Masson is a blockout zone for Virginia Beach.
I don't know why they do streaming and then they have blackouts.
Yeah, it's bullshit, but
It's all about the money.
But
Ken, the game
Yes,
will also be on the MLB network out of market. So if you want to see it at 105, it should be on the MLB network.
Well, that would be fantastic if it was.
But check it tomorrow. Check out MLB network at 1:00, and you should see the Yankee game. That I'm looking at the Yankee website right now, and that's what they're saying.
All right. But that's for out of market. And
Out of market, which is you.
well,
You're
I'm
not
in market. I'm in market for Masson.
But
They blacked out.
you're out of market for the Yes Network.
Actually, I'm not.
You're not?
I have a subscription to the Yes Network.
So it should work on the Gotham Sports app.
Yeah, but that means that I would be calling a game off my cell phone that I can't see. That doesn't work for me.
Well,
However,
I'm just giving you options.
my first play-by-play for spring training is going to be on Saturday when the Tigers face the Yankees at George M. Steinbrenner Field, and I will have simulcast with Joe from NY Yankee Mania on that. So either channel, you'll be able to listen to the live play-by-play from me.
Ken, you might be able to like actually watch that from the TV from your phone if you hook it up to it.
Yep. I will give it a shot because I damn sure want to see the game. And if I can't see it, I'd like to clip some highlights and post a short with that after the fact, so that because it's a 1 o'clock game, folks are going to be.
As I said, try the MLB Network if you can.
Will do. I appreciate the info. And with that being said, I am going to do my customary sign off with "Let's go Yankees," and we'll see you in the funny papers. Have a great night. And if you haven't, please hit the like, share, and if you are not a member of the Yankees The Ugly Truth family, please consider subscribing. Have a great night.